There you go. I'm Mike Husnick, and this is
Pink Monarchs.
yeah. There we go. Pink Monarchs. So I was. And did you see that P Diddy released a new video?
No.
For a longest time, he denied ever being abusive. He denied. You're starting to distract me. Could you quit playing with your titties?
Oh, I gotta make sure they're even and
But P Diddy has been denying ever being abusive for the
okay.
last few years. Well, a video surfaced of him beating the shit out of his ex-girlfriend in a hotel. And
Okay.
he released a video of him apologizing for his actions. I'm like, so it never happened, but it did.
Yeah.
But what's weird is this video exists, right? And it's from 2016, but now the statute of limitations is up. So somebody was sitting on this video and did nothing.
Yeah.
And then released it when the statute of limitations up.
What's the limitations?
I'm not too sure. I think
Okay.
it's like I think it's like 6 years
5
abuse
or
or something,
6
5 years.
years.
I know for like harsher cases, it's like 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is stupid because I believe abuse, especially that form, is fucking. There should not be a statute if you got proof it happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a weird case with the diddler. That's what I'm calling him. I'm calling him the diddler.
The diddler. That's perfect.
He loves touching people. He's touched a lot of lives and a lot of people. Guys, thank you for tuning in to Pink Sock Podcast. This is just gonna be a chillax episode. We might have Jack Rife join us. We might not. Anyone and everyone is welcome to join us. The link is right there. I believe on my Facebook, this might not be public yet. For some reason, Facebook likes to make this private on my main page. I am working on making it automatically not, but I just changed it to public so you guys on Facebook can see it now. Anyway,
what's going on with the bottom part of this blue screen?
What do you mean?
It's shaking for me.
Yeah, it's actually motion. It's moving.
But the top one doesn't move.
It does. Look very closely.
Oh, okay. But yeah, the other one is moving really fast.
It's the different vibration settings, sweetheart.
Okay.
The top vibrates a little better. The bottom one really gets her where she likes it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
The bottom one's a lot better. Is this a better background for you?
It's a bit plain, but
is it less distracting?
Yeah.
Very. So what have you been up to, Pink?
What?
What have you been up to?
Oh, I'm learning piano.
Yeah, you told us yesterday. Have you learned Happy Birthday yet, or a part of it?
I have.
Oh, could you play it for us? Actually, no.
Okay.
Don't because
actually no. But I do have my foldable keyboard.
Believe it or not, we might get hit with a copyright because if you go to a restaurant,
yeah,
and I am going somewhere with this. If you go to a restaurant and they sing Happy Birthday, they don't sing Happy Birthday like that version of it.
Yeah,
they sing their own version. The reason why is because Disney owns the rights to the Happy Birthday song, and it is illegal. It is copyright written by Disney. So restaurants are not legally allowed, or else they have to pay a rights fee.
I would sing the one from Futurama.
Oh, I got a new phone. Did I show you?
No.
I'm going to be doing a review on it. It is an Alcatel WP30 Pro. This phone has a screen. Well, that's a flashlight. Sorry. A screen on the back that has like the clock, and then it has like the camera, and you click on it. You can't really tell on mine, but it shows you like the front of the camera. It's hard to see because of the glare.
Yeah.
But
that's cool though.
It's drop proof, waterproof. It has It has night vision camera, which means I can make like
Creepy videos.
or the like old fashioned porn. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the nighttime, like the Kim Kardashian sex tape. Thank you everybody for tuning in. But Pink, I didn't really have much of a topic today. I just wanted to ramble on and ramble and ramble and
Okay.
ramble.
Well, I've been in the hospital.
Oh yeah, tell us about that. What was wrong?
Well, I've been having problems breathing.
Out of all the things you can suck out at life, breathing is the worst.
Right?
Yeah.
And eventually, like, I went to my doctor and she checked my blood pressure and my O2, and she's like, yeah, you're fine. She's like, I'll refer you to a cardiologist, which is like a referral in like 2 months. And so my kidney doctor got a hold of me because of a blood work that was not good. And I told them what was going on. And they're like, yeah, it's probably a blood pressure thing. And then his social worker called me and she was like, just go to the hospital. Just please go to the hospital. Like, it doesn't sound good that you can't breathe.
Yeah,
And
it's not good.
yeah, so I was like, all right. So I took a day. I showered before I went because God knows you're not allowed to shower at the hospital. And I went in and I knew I was going to be staying. Like, and they were like, oh, this is weird. Let's send you for an x-ray. So they sent me for an x-ray and turns out my lung was collapsed.
Oh shit.
And full of fluid. And when I say full of fluid, I mean they took a needle and stuck it in my back through my ribs and into my lung sac and removed 1.5 liters of fluid.
Jesus.
And I took a picture of it because it looks like a bag of piss. Like, it's like, ew. And
put it on the screen.
yeah, I can do that. But
I'm glad
yeah, it's been crazy.
What causes fluid on the lung? Did they say? Because I know like there's different reasons, but
they're going to refer me to a cardiologist. But other than that, they didn't really give me any answers.
Because the human body's weird. Like it does weird shit.
I'll send you that picture too.
Like it'll heal itself, but the body will also do weird shit, like try to kill itself. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like I don't understand. Where'd you send it to, dear?
Discord.
Okay. Oh, you got a beautiful face. You're getting that.
Damn, right?
It does look like a bag of piss.
It does. Like, and that all came out of my lung. Like, that's crazy.
Damn.
And now I'm having problems breathing again, but I'm on fluid pills that are supposed to like reduce the fluid. But I think I'm going to have to go back.
So for the listeners, this is what her lung fluid looks like. I'm sorry, my phone's got notifications going off. Give me 1 second. People are buttholes. They know I've got a podcast, but they just like to blow me up. Here you go. Lung fluid. Looks like that.
Yeah. That came out of my lung.
No wonder you can't breathe. Like what were you doing? Was you just like
I would do anything and be like
So I dare you to drink it next time.
Oh no.
I wonder what it tastes like. What do you think it tastes like?
Probably like pee, whatever that tastes like. And I don't want to know.
I'm pretty sure pee just tastes like it smells.
Yeah, and I don't want to taste that.
I mean, it can't be too bad. Pee can't be too bad. If you had to choose, though, would you drink pee or would you drink your lung fluid?
Ooh, pee. I'd drink pee.
So you think pee would taste better? Well, if you
that fluid's been sitting in there for God knows how long, right? Like,
well, I heard somewhere, I think it was Bear Grylls that said it. Your pee is actually like sanitary. But if you boil it, it just becomes water
Oh,
because you boil all the nasty shit out of it.
yeah. I'm still not wanting to drink it.
I wouldn't. That'd be a thing from Jackass, though.
Right? It's like drink piss or your fluid from your lung.
That's like
Bam would totally drink his lung fluid.
he probably has lung fluid. He looks like a guy that does. Oh, by the way, next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Aaron Nordstrom. He is joining us. He is of the band Gemini Syndrome and Wyote. Have you heard of Gemini Syndrome or Wyote?
I haven't.
Gemini Syndrome is where I first learned about Aaron. I am a big fan of his work.
Hmm.
They performed, I believe, at Rock on the Range when I saw them, I believe. And they fucking killed it, and I fell in love ever since. Not with Aaron. If you listen to this, Aaron, I'm not in love with you. You're a cool dude and all, but like I wouldn't suck your toe. But they're really good. And then Wyote is his newer band that he's in.
Yeah.
He's the vocalist of both, and he is a great fucking singer.
Hopefully your friend Jack can join us again sometime. He was
I
really
love
funny.
Jack. I love Jack. He's a stand-up comedian.
Okay. I could see that.
I met him at an open mic night that I was performing at.
Oh, okay.
Me and him both was performing at it. We signed up for it, and we've been shooting comedy ideas off of each other. We're actually working on doing skits and sketch comedy and all that fun shit.
Nice.
We're going to partner up, and he's going to be on here more often. We do plan on, once I figure out the job situation, I plan on making Pink Sock be like a hangout regular thing where it's just us hanging out, having fun, chatting, and then whatever guests we have. I can interview people on the days that we don't have this thing, and we can just do it with us. We can always do skits that show up. We can take the best of clips. Like I just wanted to have fun with this. I don't really care about it going anywhere. I just want to have fun with it.
Yeah, and that's what it should be, like first and foremost.
Like I would like to, like I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to make some money off of it so it like sustains itself because I pay for the shit to bring it on. But I don't care about becoming rich with it. I just like it enough to sustain.
Yeah.
That's like so many people I know, and nothing against it. I mean, a lot of the people deserve it, but a lot of people are like, I want to be able to make money doing what I love, which, yeah, that's the goal for everyone. Everyone's in their dream for money. They would love to make money, but you can't do it to become popular or to make money, because if you're doing it for that purpose, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to succeed because you're doing it to please other people and not yourself.
Yeah.
Some of the most successful comedians and podcasters and stuff didn't do it for other people. They did it for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you're supposed to do art. Art's supposed to be for yourself. And then your crowd will come. Well, I mean, they might, they're not going to, I don't know if they're going to come, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to, what are you doing? You're just like,
I'm looking at the chat and there's that weird Mike's baby daddy or something like that. That's
yeah, he thinks I'm his sugar daddy, I guess. I don't know who it is. I have no idea, but they're supporting the channel. They're supporting me. So
yeah,
I just wish I knew who it was, but it don't matter. I love that person for loving me.
Aww.
That's the thing, man. You gotta love people, even if they're weird, even if like, because I'm fucking weird. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I am.
Well, fucking, you are.
Like, so I'm
like
gonna.
You're fucking weird, and you're fucking weird.
Yeah, I fuck weird. Like I like.
Yeah.
Not like
sideways.
Yeah, lots of sideways and eye contact. Don't ask how that's possible. Like doggy style with eye contact is fucking weird.
Yeah, you're like, turn and look at me.
Have you had a dude have you look at him while in doggy?
No.
It's weird. Like you gotta turn your head completely around.
Like I'm not a cat.
You're not an
I'm a
owl.
dog.
Owls do that. Owls actually turn their head completely 180 degrees.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's very fucking weird. Could you imagine if humans could do that shit?
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Garak, thank you for tuning in. I haven't seen you commented yet, but I saw that you reacted, so you can't hide in the shadows. Adam, join us, bro. We put the link in the description of the YouTube channel and on Facebook. So you're more than welcome to join us. It's just going to be a hangout today, and I'm going to talk about some of my podcast shit and everything we got going on. I am currently in talks with bringing on the singer of Crowbot. I don't know if you're familiar with Crowbot, but they are an incredible group. You're going to learn a lot about music because
apparently
I got hate for saying this before, but fuck it. I'm autistic. No, I'm not.
So
I wasn't diagnosed with autism.
Yeah.
But the signs are there. Like I hyperfixate on shit. Like
I've been diagnosed with ADHD.
I've been diagnosed with ADHD, which is on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But I think like either that or I have a form of autism because like I hyperfixate on shit and then I lose interest in it after I've either learned all I wanted to know or once I found something else. So like the two things that I've always had a love for is music and comedy. The rest of the shit just comes and goes. Well, weed too. Like I've always loved cannabis, which I had an interview at a dispensary recently. So wish me luck.
Oh, nice.
But with that being said, I am big like into comedy and music. So there's a lot of bands that I know of that a lot of other people are like, oh, I never heard of them. But to me, having people on like Aaron and like the singer of Crowbot, it's huge for me because I view up and coming artists or the ones that aren't the bigger artists the same way as I view the bigger artists. If I love your art, even if we're good friends, I'm a fan of shit. Like the band Theriaca, I went and saw them. They opened for CKY. A good friend of mine, Nathan Kepner, plays guitar for them. But when I'm around, you might as well have Metallica on stage. Like I'm singing all their music. I'm freaking out. I'm dancing. I'm wearing their shirt. Like I support their music. Crowbot. No, not Probot. Crowbot. Crobot. Crowbot. They are a like stoner rock group is the best way I can explain it.
I would say Probot.
But that is a great group, Crowbot. Go check them out. They are fucking incredible. I would like to get my DJ license just so I can just start playing music on here of the bands that I'm talking about. How much does that cost, Pink?
Too much for Deezer and the virtual DJ. It was about $50 American a month.
Because like I would just like to have the rights to play music on here, like not even the full song, just be like, hey, have you heard of this band? And then let's play it. Like, because I played music on here before and I had the permission from the artists that wrote the music to play it on here, and I got my videos demonetized. Now I don't really care about being demonetized because I don't really make money off of it anyway. You can play it for 30 seconds. That is true, Nick. But there's also a issue with that apparently because they still try to take videos down. Because I played Neverwake's music on here and I'm good friends with them guys and they let me play it. And it wasn't the full song. It was only like a 20-minute intro or 20-second intro. And they actually muted that part of the episode. They didn't demonetize, they muted it.
That's stupid. I'm going to turn off my speaker just so you don't get
why they do that because it's not like the quality of the song is good enough for somebody to rip it.
Yeah.
Like that's free advertisement. Wouldn't musicians want that?
You would think so.
Like it's not like they make enough money off of Spotify to make it worth a damn if somebody one or two people or even hundreds of people play it for free and give you free advertisement. Like I understand if you play the full music video.
Yeah. But like, if you're just playing a clip, like
or even the whole song, but you're reacting to it like you're talking over top of it, you're not giving a great quality version of that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, labels cloud it up because labels make money off of it. But the label industry, in my opinion, as what it used to be, is dying because artists can just record themselves and release it themselves using DistroKid. Like, we don't really need a label anymore. Labels are good for like promotion. They're really good for like if you want to go on a tour. Like, it's good for that kind of shit. But like, it's not. Even then, you don't really need a label. You just get a manager. You just find a good manager. And with the fucking the advertising, social media, like the record company is dead, but they want to act like they're not. But you can be independent as fuck. Like, anymore, there's a lot of bands that are not going with record labels. Now, here's the issue with that, though. If you don't go with the record company, a lot of the shit won't be played on the radio.
Yeah.
Because record companies pay the radio. But who the, like, unless you're listening to like Live 365 or like stations on there, like actively wanting to listen to that specific station, nobody listens to AM FM radio anymore. Very rarely. Very rarely.
Yeah, it's like maybe when they're driving, but
like, you're not sitting at home and you're like, let me play the radio. You're like, let's go on Spotify and see what the new music is, because there's a section that you can click on and it shows you the new music.
Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think record labels are in charge of what's on the latest music playlists.
I don't know.
But I don't know. Record labels are fucking crazy. But I guess it's a dead industry, but yet you make more money if you work through a record label because Spotify don't pay worth a damn. So it's like a double-edged sword. Because I have a friend, he does a lot of shows. He's not in a big act or nothing, but he does a lot of shows locally and stuff. And he told me he's basically a touring fucking t-shirt salesman at this point. Because he makes more money off t-shirt sales than he does anything else.
Yeah.
His music don't make him money because these streaming services don't pay worth a damn. Even though they're multi-billionaires riding off the backs of artists. But they don't pay worth a damn. They like to run all the way to the fucking bank with the money that artists are making them. And also fucking you just make money off merch and ticket sales is all you really make money off of. And even then, ticket sales is kind of iffy because you got to pay the production crew each night. You got to pay your roadies. You got to pay everyone.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was in a band, and even album sales don't sell. Good seeing you, Nick. I love you, brother. I appreciate your support, dude. I have shirts for sale. I miss seeing you too, man. We have Jules Wells making shirts, so I do have Pink Sock Podcast shirts and Mike Usnick shirts. We have 2 different designs for the Mike Usnick and only 1 for Pink Sock so far. I need to get a hold of her with other design ideas and stuff. I've just been way fucking busy to.
Did you get a black shirt?
We can do it on any color.
Oh, okay.
I just have to buy that color of shirt and we just put it on it. She presses them herself.
Yeah.
They're not like pre-made. Well, we can pre-make them and sell them that way, but like she presses them.
Okay.
So like we can do any color shirt you want, any size you want. But what was it? Oh yeah, the music industry. The music and entertainment industry, you have to be almost like some form of nuts or have some form of mental illness to even want to get in this industry. Music, comedy, whatever. Because the art itself doesn't sell.
Yeah.
Tickets, you literally, by the time everybody gets money. My dad was in a band, and the way the albums worked, you had to pay the producer, you had to pay the record company, you had to pay each bandmate, you had to pay the engineering crew. So by the time it came back to you, that $10, $15 album, you made like a penny off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're literally making what Spotify would be giving you. So like, you can't really fault Spotify. However, Spotify is still giving less because they gave you a penny for like every 3,000 streams.
That's terrible.
Metallica made like $5,000 off of Spotify. I'm like, that is fucking ridiculous. That
It
could be,
is.
I could be mistaken on that. It might not have been from the whole year, but I know they made like in like 4 or 5 months, they made like 5,000, which is ridiculous to think that that's how the industry is.
Yeah,
What are you getting cold?
I am. I'm chilly.
You're in Canada. It gets cold at night. The part of Canada you're in, is it a safe neighborhood or
No.
no?
There was a homeless person outside yesterday, and I thought it was my nephew because I heard like fuck and like a bang, and I was like, the fuck? So I called him to give him heck, and he was in bed with the light off, and he was like, what? And I'm like, did you just scream? And he's like, no. And I'm like, are you playing Dark Souls 2? And and he's like, no. And so then he was like, I heard it too, though. So after going outside, the recycling was like thrown across the road. Like someone attacked my garbage for some reason.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's cool.
Why was the homeless guy attacking your garbage? Does like Canada have a drug problem? Like what's
Oh yeah. This city is known for meth.
we have like fentanyl and heroin where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
We
saying
had problem with fentanyl too, but it's kind of petered out. Like you
I'm
don't
not
really
saying
hear
we don't
about
have
it
meth. We
anymore.
have meth too, but like
And then like so I'm from London, Ontario, everyone. And there is something here called the London handshake, which is when someone stabs you.
um
Yeah.
so you're from London, but you're not from the good London.
Yeah, exactly. We go London, Ontario.
Okay. Do you guys have like the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
No.
Or is that even in London? Where the hell is the Leaning Tower
That's
of
not
Pisa?
in London.
That's
That's
in
in
Italy,
like
ain't it?
Greece or
That's in
something.
Italy or Greece or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Um, I would no. What I meant to say was is the Eiffel Tower, but my brain was like, "Hey, let's make you sound like
Right.
an idiot." That was the tism talking. That was the.
Yeah, that's blame it on the tism.
I, I said that one day, like I was blaming my autism for something, and somebody flipped out on me, and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "You're blaming mental illness on your actions." I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like, I joke that way. Like, I have a very dark sense of humor. Like when a national tragedy
Yeah.
happens, I joke about it the day of. Like
Oh,
everybody's fucking crying, and I'm like, "Oh well," because that's how I handle it. Because I don't think we should have a moment to cry and be upset, and then we should be able to like. Because I feel like if
with
we
time and tragedy comes humor.
Yeah, because if we continue to cry and be upset about it, the terrorists win. So if we, if we joke
Yeah.
about it, which I'm doing stand-up comedy on the 25th, in Blair,
Nice.
Ohio, at the Hidden Hills Event Center, and I have notes. I wrote notes down. I don't. When I write comedy, I have an idea of what I'm going to say and when I'm going to say it or whatever, but
Yeah.
I just write like a word, like a topic, or write down like an idea of what I'm going to say, and then I let it flow on stage. And during that time period, I'm not really posting anything that I find funny. What I do is I start typing the post. I'm like, shit, I'm not going to post that. I want to say that on stage. And I don't put it, I'm like, I'm going to say that. I'm starting to get in the habit of not posting everything and saving it for the stage.
There you go.
Because a comedian, in my humble opinion, not every comedian has to be funny on stage. They have to point out the fucked up parts of society, make people
Hmm.
wonder and question it, and then laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because comedy isn't just about humor. Comedy is about looking life in the face and like, fuck, I thought it was this way, but maybe I'm wrong. Like it's about making people uncomfortable, but in
Hmm.
a positive way. And Sometimes I've made people uncomfortable in a non-positive way. I'm not gonna lie, but it happens in comedy. All you can say is I'm sorry that you feel that way, but
Yeah.
like my
Some people are like, if you play the gay card or something like that, they get uncomfortable.
that's happened to me.
Yeah.
I have a tendency of my male friends I act gay around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a thing I do. Like, I don't like walk up and grab him by the dick or nothing, unless I really know him.
Yeah. Well,
But I don't do that. But like, I'll like joke, like, "Hey, you're handsome. I'd fuck you." Like funny shit like that. But sometimes people get upset about it, and I'm like, well, probably shouldn't have said that to that person,
yeah. Too bad.
but I
Too
ain't
bad.
gay.
So sad.
I mean, it ain't gay if you ain't gay. Uh, I actually, funny story about that is I always
Hmm.
joke. I have this I have this rule where I love everyone unless you hurt children or murder people or whatever. I love
Yeah.
everyone. However, that doesn't mean that you're off limits to joke about.
Yeah.
So like I'll make like a trans joke or I'll make a gay joke or I'll make any kind of joke, a white joke. I make fun of myself all the time. Doesn't mean I hate you. It means I love you, so I'm including you. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
if I
I just had a Mean Girls quote in my head.
which one?
Uh, are you white? where, where she's like, you're from Africa, but you're white.
Well, I actually have a friend that I met when I was in Phoenix. I haven't heard from him in a while. If you're watching this, dude, get a hold of me. He was from Africa,
Mm-hmm.
but he looked like me, but a little heavier. Like he was white.
Right, but have you seen your hair?
Oh yeah, but he was from South Africa.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of us
There's a
Americans,
lot of white people in South Africa, though.
well, a lot of us, this is what I was going to get at. A lot of us North American white people don't realize that 90%, I could be wrong about the percentage, I'm a dumbass with a microphone, but like a large percentage of South Africa is fucking predominantly white.
Yeah. Yep. Like blonde white.
So, funny story is me and my buddy who is from South Africa was
Yeah.
talking one day, and I'm like, so what's it like being an African American? And he was like, it's great, especially being a white one, because cops don't pull me over for no reason.
Yeah.
When he said that, I just died laughing. But the point I'm getting at is I don't exclude any group from my humor because I'm not coming at it as a hate thing.
Yeah.
Or I don't intend to. If you take it as a hate thing, that is your insecurities projecting onto me.
Yeah.
But I don't come at it as a hate thing. I come at it as I love you, so I'm going to include you. If I exclude you, I feel more offensive in a way because I don't feel you're good enough to joke about. And I think that's how a lot of comedians feel. Because a lot of comedians are like,
healthy, though. Like,
I have a trans friend, all right? Now, we're not close friends. We haven't seen each other in a while. But like when we see each other, it's a cool, like, hey, it's nice seeing you, whatever. I ran into him at Walmart one day, and he worked there at the time. He used to be a she, but now he's a he. I love him. I'm very proud of him for coming out in a time period where coming out was not acceptable.
yeah.
But he had a very excited look on his face. And I'm a comic at heart, a lot of people tell me, because sometimes I say shit funny and don't mean to. It just fucking comes out.
Yeah.
Well, he looked at me and said, I got the new Nintendo Switch. I'm like, you got the new Switch? He's like, yeah, I got the new Switch. I'm like, you got that 3 years ago, didn't you?
Nice.
My friend who was with me was kind of uncomfortable, but he isn't trans. So I didn't care that he was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He was uncomfortable and he got offended. However, my friend who is trans laughed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that I need to get out of, because I get nervous going on stage because I'm afraid that something I might say might piss off the audience
Mm-hmm.
because they take it wrong, or I might upset somebody, when in reality, how they project or how they perceive you is a projection of who they are, not who you are.
Yeah.
So if you like, I don't know. That's like somebody told me, I forget what joke it was, but I told a joke. It might have been at an open mic night. And somebody's like, you probably shouldn't have said this particular joke. And it got a laugh. You probably shouldn't have told this particular joke because I found it offensive and some people might find it offensive. And they said, you told a joke. They didn't say which joke at first. And I'm like, which joke? And then they told me. I'm like, I'm glad you told me. And they had like a happy look on their face. I'm like, because now I'm going to write 2 jokes similar. Because you laughed. It got a reaction. It got a laughter.
Yeah.
Those people knew it wasn't out of a place of hate. Those people understand humor.
Yeah.
Just because you're sensitive about that, it is not anyone's job. It's nobody's job
To cater to you.
cater to you and know your insecurities.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean because I love everyone. I'm a people pleaser. But at the end of the day, it's your job to not or to be offended.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way you perceive things. Your reality is not my reality. The way you perceive me is probably not even how the situation is. So in comedy, as Brad Goss said when he was on here, and if you're listening, Brad, you're more than welcome to come on and continue talking to us about comedy. And Jack, I know you're listening, bro. Come on. I have the stream. But just how people project themselves onto you doesn't mean you have to change what you talk about.
Yeah.
Now, if you came to me, though, and said, hey, that joke you told is offensive. However, here's a way to change it to make it better. Like, I'm all for...
That's called constructive criticism.
Yeah, I'm all for telling me how I could be funnier. I'm all for... Comics help each other all the time. Jack gives me great ideas of like, here's how you can change a story, and then I do the same for him. Like, here's how you can change this around, because having a different mindset's great. That's fine. But to come to somebody and say, you should have made that joke, it's not funny, fuck you, how can I make it funnier?
Yeah.
And don't even say fuck you. Like, even say, if somebody comes to you and you're a comic and they're like, I was offended by that, you shouldn't have said that joke, ask them, how could I make it funnier?
Okay. You're making me think of Tim Minchin.
Who's Tim Minchin?
He is just like the greatest musician / comedian.
I'd have to look him up because I might have heard of him. I'm just really bad with names sometimes.
Yeah. So he tells this story about this guy who focused on him and like kind of petered through the crowd to get close to him at a party.
Mm-hmm.
And he noticed like Tim is very, very against the Catholic Church.
I mean, I'm not against any religion. However,
He's against
I'm against
people
the rape.
fucking children.
Yeah, that's me too. But I'm not saying all Catholics fuck children. But I am saying most priests do. But continue your story.
Yeah, so he sees this guy is handsome and whatever and has this cross on him. And the guy comes over and talks to him and he's like, you know, I know like your stance and blah, blah, but I really want to share this story with you. And so he explains to the guy, the guy explains to Tim about how his mom had a detached retina and she had to get some laser surgery and she was really scared. And so they went to church and prayed, and turns out their prayers were answered because when she went back to the doctor, it was healed. It was fine. Like, so Tim's like, so I just need to write a song about this. And so it's called Thank You, God.
Oh, shit.
And he goes like, I've got an apology to make. Turns out I made a big mistake. I turned my face away from you, Lord. And he like goes on, and then he's like, "Thank you, God, for fixing the cataract of Sam's mom." And it goes on, and it's like I had no idea that it's suddenly so clear. And about how like you just have to fix one cataract of one middle class white bitch, and
You know what's
like
weird?
it's so good. It's so good.
I need to look up that song. Send it to me.
I
But
will.
what don't make sense to me, and I'm not going to say that religion's wrong or whatever. What you believe in, what you believe in. I respect you. I do. However, I heard somebody talk about this, and this is a question I have. All right, people say that when things happen, that's all part of God's plan, correct?
Yeah,
However, when somebody gets really sick, they pray to make them better. Why? That's a part of God's plan. Why are you trying to fuck up God's plan?
that's a good point.
What are you going to do?
And
What are you
if
gonna
it
do?
wasn't part of his
Change my
plan,
mind?
I thought he was all knowing.
Yeah, but my thought is if you pray to him to make somebody better, right?
Yeah.
You're literally asking him, "Hey, I know this is your plan, but like, could you like change that?" And then if enough people, because the church, they do that whole prayer thing. If you get enough prayers, God might. It's like a voting. I guess you're voting. You're voting on whether or not your friend dies. Isn't that what prayer is? Prayer is voting. I guess heaven is capitalist. It's a capitalist.
Oh, so I hope that the person is not watching this.
I hope they are.
I do, because it has to do with me. But someone was like, when I was in the hospital, they're like, I'm going to have my family pray for you and blah, blah. But the thing is I need your given name for it to work.
Tell him, Mike.
Right? Like, I was like, why the fuck do you need my given, like, would God not know who you're talking about when you guys are praying for me? Like, it's like, well, we didn't call her by her given name. You're probably talking about the singer Pink.
I mean, you're
Like,
actually, like I said, heaven is a capitalist area. So you're voting for that person to not be sick anymore. So they have to know the full name so they know you're voting for the right person to not die.
yeah.
I need to add that to my set somehow.
Right?
Look, I don't get it. I'm not trying to mock religion. I'm just asking a question. If you're offended by what I'm saying, that means there's some truth in it because you don't have an answer.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't, if somebody says something to me, like I have a belief and they come at me and they're like, so what about this that contradicts what you believe in? The honest adult and respectful thing to do is to sit down and be like, hey, maybe there is loopholes in what I believe in. Let's talk about it. Instead of hiding from the contradictions and be like, oh no, what I believe in is completely right.
Yeah.
Like if you have to ignore contradictions and get mad when somebody questions it, then what you believe in might not be right. Like,
Some people don't like hearing that though. Like,
but I'm not saying religion isn't true. Like I believe in a higher power, whatever, all that thing. But I also don't get upset when people come at me and question me. Because I know that it's fucking weird. And I know that there might be something more believable. Like, that's the thing we need to understand. We literally believe in what was put into our head when we were kids. Some of us. Like the religion thing. A lot of people are Catholic or Christian because it was pounded in their head. How do you know that's the religion for you? You never tried another religion.
Well, yeah, and that's something that Tim sings about in that song is what are the chances that in history's endless parade of gods, the one that you were taught to believe in is the right one?
Yeah. And also, it's usually the people that are like, oh, my God's the God, the right one. It's the right one. Who told you? Oh, My dad who beat me and lied to me my entire life. Oh, so that guy. Okay.
My dad had beat me and lied to me.
That guy taught you. Okay. I remember.
Yeah.
My priest that touched me. Like, what? Like, you're believing people that have shown you that, I don't know. Like, I'm just an idiot with a microphone. I'm not trying to be, like, hated or liked. I think we should be able to have a respectful conversation of, oh, this is what you believe in. Here's why I think it contradicts, or here's questions I have regarding that religion. If you don't have an answer, you don't have an answer. That's fine. But don't get upset when people question it.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there saying religion's bullshit. I'm not saying God's bullshit. I'm saying, here's some things that don't make sense. Answer it. And I've had people get really upset with me over it. They're like, well, and I keep questioning, like they'll answer the question, but it still doesn't answer my question. And then they start quoting the Bible, and I'm like, so if I don't believe in the Bible, though, can you answer the question without quoting the Bible? Because we can do this all day. I've read the Bible and all that fun stuff. I can quote pages too. Like, you're supposed to sell, if your daughter gets sexually assaulted, according to the Bible, the Old Testament, but still, it's the Bible. If your daughter gets sexually assaulted, you have to sell her to the guy who assaulted her. And she has to live with him
Yeah.
life.
Or you have to pay like 10 silver or something like that.
Yeah. Like 10 silvers. What are you doing? Like selling her to a troll? Like that's under a bridge? Oh, give me the shekels. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That's fucking weird. Some shekels of silver. Like, you're selling her to a Viking. Like, what are you like?
That's funny.
It's stupid. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying the religion's stupid. I'm just saying, like, that idea is stupid. And also, people say that religion is against homosexuality. But if you look at the Bible in other languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Translate it to English from any other language. And the verse against homosexuality has nothing to do with homosexuality. When it was translated by the Catholic Church, they made it about homosexuality. That original verse is about pedophilia. It says,
sorry, I'm just sharing some shit to you.
It says, man shall not lay with child as he would womankind.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And I've never heard, like,
Yeah.
It's weird because people, like, talk about Satan, like, all this negative Satan shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of the Satanic Church touching a child. Like, I've never.
Yeah, because we have better standards.
I've never heard of the Satanic Church.
I've never heard of his
Killing
measly appendage touching a child.
Like, the thing
Touches
is,
midgets
there are people that
and
are
short people.
There are people that are Luciferians that have taken lives, and Luciferian and Satanism are two different things. Luciferians actually worship Satan.
Yeah.
Satanists worship themselves.
Yeah, because they're just typical atheists. Like,
which is weird because Christianity preaches worshiping yourself too. Think about it. Jesus exists within all of us, so you should be worshiping yourself. Your body's your temple. Satanism and Christianity are the same. Just one believes in a God and the other one doesn't. Like, that's the only difference.
Yeah.
Like, if you actually break it down, just people are afraid of the word Satan.
Yeah.
And I would love to have a Satanist on here. So if I know anybody who's a Satanist, I would love to have a non-biased conversation. Because I'd like to have people of all walks of life. Because I'm very open to learning everyone's walk of life respectfully. Like, if I have a Christian person on here, a Catholic, talking about the religion, I will question things, but I want to know.
Yeah. Like, and what they think about Deuteronomy. Like,
Deuteronomy is like the most fucked up book in the Bible. That's the one that talks about, like, selling your child and shit.
And don't eat grapes. Don't eat the leaves. Don't eat the plant. Don't eat the roots.
You know what else?
And it goes through, like, every fucking part of the grapevine. Don't eat it. And it's like, do you have to tell them don't eat dirt too?
What's
Are
really,
they fucking slow?
what's weird though? Religion will talk about. No, they're getting better now. A lot of people are getting better. I'm not saying all religious people. My mom is a Christian and she's amazing. She's very open-minded about shit, all of that. So I'm not saying all of religious people. I'm just saying a vast majority still is very against gay people.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. And they'll say because the Bible, you still watch football and the Bible preaches against it. You still eat shellfish. The Bible preaches against it.
Yeah.
You do everything that the Bible preaches against, but you choose the one thing. And the Bible that they're reading also tells them that the only sins that matter is the 10 Commandments, which does not mention homosexuality.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, if it was that important, it would say don't suck your neighbor's dick.
I mean, you can, but but like, I don't want anybody coming at me out of context. I'm not saying religion's bullshit. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying we should be able to healthily talk about it and question each other's thoughts without coming at each other. Because if us questioning or acting a certain way or talking a certain way in a respectful manner makes you mad or upset, that means you're reflecting because you're starting to question yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't like that. Because the human mind does not like being questioned and then realizing that maybe this person's right, so they react in an angry way instead of sitting down and talking.
Yeah.
So they lash out. Because the human mind, if you're taught for so many years one way and then somebody says something and it blows your mind, you either react in a positive way or you freak the fuck out. Because the human mind is like, fuck, I wasted all this time. Instead, I'm just going to freak out and say there's no way what you're saying is true. When nothing anyone says is true. It's perception. It's what that people believes. My world is not your world. My mind is not your mind.
Yeah.
We all are full of shit. None of us know what the fuck we're doing, and none of us knows what actually happened. We just fucking making shit up. That's like archaeologists found out maybe 30, 40 years ago that dinosaurs had fucking feathers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so for years we thought they were like, rawr, but they're actually like what? The closest living relative to a T-Rex is a goddamn chicken.
Yeah.
A velociraptor, a rooster, is the closest living goddamn relative.
Well, raptors were actually quite small.
They were the size of a chicken.
Yeah, so just punt them away.
The raptors in Jurassic Park was actually a completely different dinosaur.
Yeah.
Completely. You can tell that we have a little bit of that autism because our topics today
are all over the place.
Like, fuck, I love dinosaurs. Dude, I love the reason why I do this podcast is not because like I just love talking. I go down rabbit holes. I talk shit.
Yeah.
But I also know that I hit on a lot of controversial topics. And I say a lot of things that might upset some people, which I don't care if I upset some people because that means they're thinking. How they perceive me doesn't matter. But the ones that stick by and understand that's how I am and they respect me and they love me for it, I love you guys too. That's like somebody told me the other day, they're like, Mike, you should change the name of Pink Sock. You're not going anywhere with it. And I've heard that for years. You're not going anywhere with it, Mike. You're not going anywhere with it. Every time I hear that, I doubt myself at first, and then I tell myself, I'm going to fucking prove you wrong.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Because there's worse out there that have made it. There's the Stiff Sock podcast. I found that out recently. There's a Stiff Sock podcast. It came out actually after this one. They didn't take it from me or nothing. Like, it's a famous comedian that came up with it. It was just we're on a similar wavelength. See, that's what I believe. I don't think any idea is like stolen. Like sometimes they are, like sometimes they hear it, but I give people the benefit of the doubt because we all exist within a wavelength and we all get thoughts randomly thrown in our heads through
Yeah.
that wavelength. It's whether or not who brings it to reality. If
Mhm.
you don't, that thought leaves and goes to somebody else.
Yeah.
Thoughts are weird. I think we are all like kind of a weird computer kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
ChatGPT, where the thought just goes in, hey, you should do something with this. You should chase your dreams and do this. And then when the thought leaves or you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it.
Yeah.
It's not about who did it first. It's about who actually did it and who did it best.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing, though, because I have seen people actually legitimately steal. There has been comedians that go to open mic nights, not around here, but like back on the day that would go to open mic nights and steal word for word jokes.
Oh.
And they were big name comedians, so they got away with it.
Yeah.
Or they'd have an opening act and be like, I like that joke, and then they'd take it for their special.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos Mencia was big on that, but he took from big name acts, which was stupid, because he took verbatim a George Lopez special.
Oh, I remember that.
Like his whole special, like not word for word, but damn near, was George Lopez's special, like years prior.
Yeah.
And like, it's okay to take a topic that somebody else has done because everybody's done it. But it's okay to take a topic and like make it your own and joke about it. But to take it and slightly change it or slightly do something
Mm-hmm.
is kind of dumb. Because that's
Yes,
kind of
it
like
is.
that's kind of like in the music industry. It's okay to sample. It's okay to take an idea. Like, let's say you go to a comic and you say, hey, I like that idea. Can I make it my own? And they say, yes, that's fine. But to take it without asking is different. Same with
Mhm.
music. That's like the whole Vanilla Ice debacle and MC Hammer. They literally took music without
Yeah.
permission. Sampling's fine. I got nothing against it. I sample with music. Like whenever I'm with somebody, like they're like, hey, I got this sample I came up with. Like that's part of music. But if you're a big name act, ask permission.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing to say is no. And if they say no,
Accept it and move on.
move on, cut it, move on, or change it. Like make it the similar sample, but change it so much that it's not the same song.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, I mean, I don't know. The thing is not all of your art is going to hit. That's the beauty of art. That's the beauty of comedy, music, all of that. Some of your greatest thoughts, other people might not think is great, but it's still beautiful. Still great.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest comedians I've seen would kill in front of one audience, but the same jokes the next night, nobody laughs. And that's the thing. Sometimes you're just not in front of your crowd.
No, but like you guys were saying yesterday, is just getting up there is
Enough.
succeeding. Yeah.
The thing is, I had
Like
somebody.
I don't have the balls to get up in front of people and tell jokes. Like,
What upsets me is like, I don't take myself seriously because I know I can improve.
yeah.
But what upsets me is like I said earlier, when somebody walks up to me and they said, I didn't find your set funny, or I was offended by this or whatever, and I respond with, well, how could I have made it funnier?
Yeah.
If they told me they was offended and I say that, they get pissed because they're like, well, you don't take me being offended seriously. No, I don't. But how could the joke have been funny?
Yeah.
If everything can be made funny. If you don't have an answer, then what's the point of coming to me?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you come to me and tell me my set wasn't funny, then you tell me how I could be better. And sometimes I don't even have an answer. Like, well, I just didn't find you funny. Then good. You didn't find me funny. But if you don't have constructive criticism, don't even tell me.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't care if you don't like my act, if you don't have constructive criticism. And if the constructive criticism is you joke about this too much, you joke about that too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd understand if I stayed on a certain topic too long and it was like just beaten dry or whatever. I understand that. But if it's like, oh, your whole set's this topic, but the crowd loved it, or I get great criticism from it, and one person's like, well, you talk about this too much. Yeah, you just don't like it. It makes you uncomfortable. I don't care. Unless you have constructive criticism, don't come to a comedian.
Yeah.
Now, if the whole audience is like, well, that one joke sucked, how can I make it funnier? Cut it from the set. Why? That's like, I have a lot of people, not a lot, but I've had a few people come to me and they're like, you do a lot of sexual humor. And I'm like, and people laugh. People love the obscurity of it. And they're like, well, this particular joke wasn't funny to me. And I'm like, well, how do I make it funnier? And like, well, I don't have an answer for that. I'm like, people laughed though.
Yeah.
Like and also if I say something, I get an like a fucking like disgusted, like grunt, like I can't believe you did that. Like Brad said, I love that too. I love that and a laugh.
Yeah. Because if you get a reaction,
comedians
that's what you're looking for.
Comedians ain't up there just to make you laugh. They're up there to get a fucking reaction one way or another.
Yeah.
Like if you're silent, that's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
But like a reaction is great. Especially if they're like, I fucking hated you. Yeah, that's great. Like I'm a people pleaser. If it's a friend of mine that says like, I hate you now, like it kind of upsets me at first.
Yeah.
But like I had a friend recently, and I'm not gonna like call her by name or nothing. I love her to pieces, and I'm not upset over the situation. I love the way she handled it, is why I bring it up. Because she handled it the way you should.
Mm-hmm.
She got offended by a joke that I said. And she came to me and was like, hey, I didn't like that joke you told. It was like an autistic joke. And she was like, I have children that are autistic. However, it's not your fault I'm offended. So I didn't come to you sooner. It's my fault. I just wanted you to know that I haven't reached out because I was just uncomfortable. And that's how you tell a comedian.
Yeah.
You're like, your set was great. I just didn't like this one joke, but that doesn't mean you have to take it out.
And it was her fault that she didn't come out sooner.
Yeah. Well, also, right? I'm glad she didn't come out sooner, because I would rather you sit in the feeling, and I'd rather you soak it up and feel it and get your mind right and then come to me than come to me in the moment upset.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying like maybe your friendship suffered a little bit because of it. Yeah. And that sucks.
Well, no, it was only like a day or two.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a month.
She just didn't want to like come to me the day of the show because she was in her feelings, and it's not right to blame the comedian because you got upset. And like, I loved the way she acted. And that is a great fucking way to handle the situation. That is an amazing way. And like, she's an amazing human being for that. And like, I've had a lot of people that I've heard tell me that, oh, so-and-so said they didn't like your set. They didn't tell me to my face. I don't get upset though, because the thing is it's not bad enough that they just didn't tell me. So that means it's a them problem, not a me problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. People need to quit doing this. I can't believe that person talked shit on me, blah, blah, blah. They didn't talk shit. That's the thing. Somebody told you what they said or how they perceived what they said, and you took it as that. They could have just went to the friend. They probably just told you, I didn't find this that funny. I didn't like what they said I hear. It was offensive. I didn't find this funny. That doesn't mean they're talking shit. That just means they're saying their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfectly fine. That's healthy. I don't get upset when people come to me and they're like, hey, so-and-so was talking shit. I'm like, but what did they say? They're like, well, they said this. I'm like, yeah, that's how you perceived it. I don't get upset over that, because if it was a problem, they would respectfully come to me and be like, hey, I just didn't like that joke.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, though, it doesn't matter. But like, I still want somebody that I'm close friends with to be like, hey, that upset me. Because then I know I'll still tell the joke on stage, but I know not to joke that way in a personal setting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's like, I was in a group of friends one time and I made some joke. I don't know. And a friend came to me and was like, hey, you made somebody in the group uncomfortable. I'm like, well, who? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, then I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Like, I can do better. I can try to not make those jokes. But if I don't know who it is, how am I going to do better around that person? How am I going to avoid because the thing is I'm not doing it to tiptoe around their feelings. It was like a sexual joke and they didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's bordering the line of harassment, and I don't want to harass anyone. Because if you continue to do it, that's considered harassment. And I just don't want to be that person. But if you don't tell me, there's no way I can not do it around you anymore or to you anymore because I don't know.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm going to continue to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I'm walking up, grab me by Johnson, and jerking you off or whatever. Like, I'm just telling jokes. I'm just saying shit that I think's funny. And my favorite thing is I've heard a lot of people say this to friends of mine who are open mic night people and stuff. People will walk up to them and say, that joke wasn't funny. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, that joke was only funny to you. That's comedy. That's conversation. That's everything. That's anything. Anything you say, any joke, you can't read minds. You're literally saying that shit for you and hoping other people will like it.
Yeah.
So, like, that's like an oxymoron to me when somebody says that's only funny to you or only you like that. Yeah, that's literally what speaking is. You're saying things in hopes that somebody else likes the said thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to walk up
That's
to people and be
funny.
like, hey, do you like these kind of jokes? Because then the joke ain't as funny. They know it's coming. You know what I mean? Like, you can't walk up to somebody and be like, hey, do you like an abortion joke? Then they know one's coming. I mean, it came beforehand before you did the abortion, but that's besides the point.
I talked to someone and I was like, I'm outing myself, by the way. And I was like,
As you should.
I've had a smishmortion. And she went, I've had a smishmortion too. And I was
Fist,
like, fist bump, I
I don't,
guess.
I don't think an abortion is something you fist bump on. Like, I don't.
No, but it was very socially awkward. And then we laughed because it was like, this is really fucking weird. Like, the whole conversation just took a weird right turn that I was like,
You had an
not ready
abortion.
for.
You had an abortion. He get me
Right?
right there,
Fist
bro.
bump.
Like, what? Like, you don't fist bump on an abortion.
No, not normally. But it was like a bonding moment at the same time.
Mhm.
Like, it was like, oh, I've had one of those too. Like, and it was one of those, like, we're not alone in this.
So
But yeah, it turned into a fist bump, and I was like,
I had a
huh,
joke I was going to tell at my comedy show, but I don't think I'm going to because it's not that I think it's too edgy. Nothing's too edgy, I don't think. I
yeah,
just don't think it'd be the right crowd.
right,
But I am going to tell it eventually, and I will tell you the joke when we leave this live.
okay, all right,
I'm leaving people on edge now. But I think it's a great joke. It has great structure.
yeah,
The punchline is either going to get a lot of groans or a lot of laughs. I don't think anybody can be quiet during this delivery.
yeah.
Like, it is very dark. I think I might tell it anyway. Fuck it.
I accidentally called my stepdad Grandpa Dad today,
Ew.
and my nephew was like, Grandpa Dad? Ba-doom, doom, 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 doom. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oops, apparently we're not from Alabama.
So I have a question. I need to get
Yeah.
people together. And by the way, it's good that you didn't call him daddy.
My mom wants me to call him daddy
No.
all the time. And she's like, Daddy is doing this. And said, do not do that.
See, I
Like,
don't like when women call me daddy. Like, that's a turn off to me. Like, I prefer being called something like different, like Prince Ali, Fabulous He Ali
Lord,
Ababla, or like Uncle Tim, or
Lord
like
Mike.
Lord Mike. Yeah, that's good. Lord Mike,
Yeah.
Fuck me, Lord Mike. Like, that'd be awesome. Nick has a really good point. I love Nick. I went to school with him. He's a great dude. Thank you for your support, Nick. We plan on going live more often. I've been doing this for about 4 years now. We're on season 5, but we've been doing it for 4 or 5 years. But he said, pink sock neon sign.
That could be fun.
I want to know if I could get custom made neon signs. I'm pretty sure you can.
Probably.
Pretty sure you can.
Yeah.
Probably be expensive as fuck, but you can get them. Nick, do me a favor. Anyone listening to this, do me a favor. If you like the stream, if you like this podcast, if you support me, my comedy, whatever, I love that you react. I love that you're here. I love that you're commenting. That does help a lot. But please share. Share the posts. Share the streams. Not just on social media. Tell people about it. We have shirts for sale, pink sock shirts. And I'm not saying buy them just for the money. I'm just saying that is a good way to advertise. So if you want to help promote, and I've had a lot of people say, is there ways that we can help you? Yes. Doesn't cost money. If you can't afford a shirt, that's cool. Share. Hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all of that. Tell your friends, tell your family, don't tell your mom. She might not like my humor, but tell everyone. She might. I mean, I don't know. I've got a thing for moms. Like, moms love me. Grandmas do too. Like, I don't know why, but grandmas love me. Like, I don't know. I love grandmas. They can't run. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The older I get, the weirder that joke becomes, because then
I like grandmas when they have wheels.
I do. I love me a woman in a little wheelchair, or like a little hover round.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. They're my little beauties. And
yeah,
I think more people, back on the little comedy thing, because I don't know why I'm stuck on this, but like, people need to start viewing humor the way that, like, one of my favorite comedians' family views humor. What I am saying on stage, that's a character. That's a persona. That's not how I actually view life. That's just shit that I think is funny, and I'm making fun of it.
Yeah.
But if you make fun of horrible things like rape, if you make fun of that shit, you're taking away the rapist's harm, and not like the harm that they did, but like, you're taking away the harm of that word. You're taking away the harm.
Yeah.
And you're spreading awareness. But the thing is don't do it in a hateful way. Don't be like, oh, more people need to be. No, don't do that. But like, I personally never joke about like assault unless it's like funny. But like, I don't joke about like women being assaulted and shit.
Yeah.
But I joke about the situation, like P. Diddy. I have a P. Diddy joke.
You could bring up the man or bear thing on stage and see what people think.
That's my plan, but I've got so many friends that already do that.
Oh, okay.
Like Jack does it, and he does an amazing one. Yeah, yesterday on the show, he said he was talking about like a movie that had something. I forget what movie it was.
Revenant.
Yeah, Revenant, where the bear like killed somebody the kid knew or whatever.
No, the bear attacked Leonardo DiCaprio till he was almost dead. Yeah. He had to like survive, and then his kid was killed by a man. Yeah. And he hunts down the rest of that movie after the man.
Yeah, so even in that movie. But like, I don't know. I believe that, like, I'm not saying like things need to be watered down, because certain acts are fucking horrible. But like, certain words in a way, like, if you're not coming from a place of hate, and you're not, and you don't have hate in your heart when you're joking about said things, you're just trying to be funny, I don't think you should be canceled. You should be hated or whatever. I believe we should be able to say whatever. I'm not going to, because I don't want to get mass fucking hates and be labeled as a fucking racist, because I'm not. But I believe certain words should not be off limits if you're not being hateful. Because if you say, oh, you can't say that, you're giving that word strength. And then when a hateful person says it, you're giving them a platform and a strength. If everyone's just saying it as like, and being funny and shit, when that hateful person says it, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
That word's been weakened. Nobody fucking cares. I'm not saying walk around calling your friends the N-word. That's not what I'm saying. But like if you're hanging out with people and you're quoting somebody, or like the words involved in a quote, you shouldn't just say, "Oh, they said the N-word." They didn't say that. Literally, when you say the N-word, like that phrase, you're putting it in the listener's head.
Yeah.
So you're basically making the listener be like, "Oh, which one?"
Okay. I'm going to ruin a song that I sent to you.
Okay, ruin it.
It's called Prejudice.
Oh God.
And it's like, it has a couple of G's, an R and an E, an I and an N.
Oh shit.
And it's a word that we shouldn't be singing and talking about and blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, the beat changes to it. And he's like, only a ginger can call another ginger ginger.
You know what's weird is ginger, if you're dyslexic, ginger has the same exact letters.
Yeah. That's why he does that. He tries to make it out like we're talking about the N-word.
Yeah.
And then he changes the beat, and then he's like, only a ginger can call another ginger ginger.
That's like when I was talking about, like, I hate when people say like the word like midget or the word ginger or the word whatever,
Mhm.
a word that they deem offensive to a group. Like, oh, that's just like saying the N-word. No, it's not.
No.
Because I can say the word midget and only upset a few people.
Yeah.
Like,
You say the N-word and you're upsetting everybody.
not everybody, because I've got like black friends that
Well,
don't even give a shit. But like, you upset a lot of white people, and you upset a lot of certain types of black people, which I would never use the N-word in like a hateful way or nothing. Like, I've used it with an A. But I never do
yeah.
it publicly. Like, I do it in private with other black friends.
Yeah.
And I've actually had racial conversations. That's healthy. I've had racial conversations with my black friends, white friends, whatever. And it's not that everyone gets offended by that word. It's that people are getting offended because another person is offended.
Yeah.
You don't say it. That word is beautiful in a way because it is the only word that no matter your context, people hate it.
Yeah.
It's the only word.
Hitler.
It's the only word where you say the N-word. Like, you say the letter and then word.
Oh, well,
Now they
one
do it
time.
with mentally handicapped people. They do the R word,
Yeah.
which is weird because that term, the R word, is the medical term. It's on medical documentation still to this day.
Yeah.
It's called, and I'm allowed to say it because I'm saying the medical condition, so go fuck yourself if you're mad. They actually call it MR, which is mental retardation. That is literally the medical term for that condition.
I had a friend who was using the R word excessively. And then I was like, ooh, let's not use that word. And then I like kind of embarrassed them out of it.
Yeah. Well,
but I felt bad, but I was like,
I'm not trying to defend it, but like in my generation, like, I'll be honest, I used to use it.
Oh yeah. That and the word gay is something bad was huge in the early 2000s.
Or the F word, not fuck, like F-A-G-G,
yeah, I know.
like that one.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's weird is I had a bit that I was going to do on stage, but I decided not to. I'm going to do it here, though.
Okay.
You cannot get offended. Nobody can get offended by this because the words I'm using is not the offensive versions. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In Britain, all those words have different meanings. Gay means happy.
Fag means cigarette.
Fag means cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Fag is a bundle of sticks.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that or not. But yes. And queer means weird.
Yeah.
So that guy is so queer that it makes me feel gay. So we're gonna go light a fag and burn a couple faggots. Like, that was my joke that I was gonna use.
Yeah.
And none of the way I'm telling it is the way that you're perceiving it. because gay means happy, queer means weird. So, like, I thought it was a brilliant joke.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could actually tell it on a
I
steady.
would.
But like,
it's all in your delivery.
And it also calls out the weirdness about society is we forget what words mean. We automatically go to the negative. Our brain is programmed to go to the negative.
And that's something totally healthy to point out on the stage.
Yeah, and also, let's point out the fact that the swastika, all right. Do you know why Hitler used the swastika?
Wasn't it like a good luck symbol or something like that?
Hitler used the swastika because it was a Judaism symbol for love. He was basically...
love.
He was basically... That's defamation.
He was faking it.
He destroyed that and made it a symbol of hate. So every time you get offended by the swastika, Hitler won.
Yeah.
Every time. The difference is the Judaism swastika, the Hitler one is like tilted.
Uh-huh.
The Judaism, if I'm not mistaken, if you're Jewish in the chat, please correct me. Because I like to be corrected. I like to be right. Or I don't like to be right. I like to have the right knowledge out there if I'm wrong.
I like to be right.
But I believe the Jewish swastika, now the swastika is in various religions. It's not just Judaism. But I believe the Jewish swastika is straight up and down, not tilted, and it has dots.
Okay.
It has dots. That might be the Buddhist one, though. I think the Buddhist one might be the one with dots, but one of them is that way. And then I think the Chinese one is reversed. But like the swastika exists in various religions. But the fact that Hitler took it, made it sideways, and made it a symbol of hate, and that's the one we acknowledge. Like I'm not telling you to fly a swastika. Don't do that. If it's Hitler's swastika, if you have like the sideways swastika, then you're fucking racist. That's like the people that have like the racist version of the Confederate flag, the one that the KKK used. You have the right to fly it. I'm not going to judge you for that. I mean, I slightly will, but I'm not going to like you. You have the right.
You guys lost.
You lost. Yeah, you lost. And it's weird because I live in an area where we were a union state. And a lot of people I know that fly the Confederate flag are like, well, it's my pride. It's nothing to do with racism. And I'm like, where are you from? They're like, West Virginia. So West Virginia, if you don't know any history, they left the Union and became West Virginia. They left Virginia and became West Virginia because they didn't want anything to do with the Confederacy.
Okay.
So if you fly that flag in a you don't understand your fucking history.
Yeah.
And the only real Confederate flag, in my opinion, is a white one because they surrendered. I saw that there's Canadian Confederates.
Yeah, there's freedom fighters and shit, we call them.
I got a question.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to quote George Carlin on this a little bit because I have a similar thought of it. All right. Firefighters fight fire, correct?
Yeah.
What the fuck do freedom fighters fight?
Freedom!
They fight against... whatever, I don't know. But I don't know. I just like...
Right? Whatever.
I think the reason why I got into comedy, though, is because I like to question reality. And I watched a lot of George Carlin growing up, and I kind of like adapted to that style of thinking in a way. Like I have my own, there's things I didn't agree that he did, but like, I like that style. I like that questioning reality because like the only reason something is offensive is the context. And for some reason in the world and even in comedy, people forgot about that. They forgot about the context part. And they just hear or see one part of what the person said, not the full picture. And they judge them for it. Like that whole thing earlier with me using all them homophobic slurs. None of them are homophobic slurs. They're all British slurs.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're good. I have a small dog here too, and he barks like that too. But like, that's the thing. You have to disconnect yourself from, oh, I'm mad that they said those words, to, oh, he said it, but it's not the context or the definition of the word that he meant. Because
Yeah.
every word has a different definition. So are you going to get mad at a British person that says, I'm going to go out back and light a fag? No, because they're talking about a cigarette, and they still call them that in Britain.
Yeah.
So why you shouldn't get mad at a word if the context is right.
Yeah.
Unless it's the N-word, because sometimes even the context right is
See, you should be saying that on stage.
That's why I do the podcast. I'll write it all down.
There you go.
The thing is even if something I say on here is funny, if it does make it on stage, I'm saying it completely differently or slightly different.
Yeah.
And it's wild because part of my brain, I get nervous because I'm afraid to say something on stage because it might be misconstrued. But like I said earlier, who the fuck cares? That's their perception.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of stuck on a double-edged sword. What if the mannequins at the mall are real people in an alternate plane of reality and we are the ghosts moving around them and don't realize it? So what if we are mannequins too? Ghosts. So it's a never-ending parallel universe of ghosts. That is fucked. That is fucking crazy, dude. You need to come on here,
mannequin.
You need to come on here, Nick, dude. We have open invitations whenever we do lives. As long as we don't have a guest, and even with a guest, we'll bring people on to ask questions. You're more than welcome to come on, dude. Oh, that's what he meant. Okay. I actually have a theory, and I'm not saying I believe this theory. It's just an interesting theory to have. I got stoned and talked to Katie one day. And what if, okay, we came out with AI and we talk to these robots and they answer and they take in the knowledge or whatever. What if we're AI for another living being? What if it's a never-ending thing of AI?
Psycho. Yeah.
What if our thoughts is just another species, I guess, or another whatever, a god, I guess you'd call it?
Yeah.
Giving us those thoughts and we're taking them how we want to take them, and it's a never-ending process of AI. We are all AI. We're just AI for God.
Maybe.
And when I say God, I don't mean like Christian God. I mean like a higher power, if there is
higher power computer.
A higher being. I believe in a higher power. I just don't believe in the religious higher power.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I don't believe anything would create us and then be like, hey, you can do whatever you want, but you know what I mean? Like, but don't do this. No, like, you let us do what we want and you love us. That's the end.
Or if they forgot about us.
Even in religious textbooks, they don't even, hell ain't real in any religion.
Yeah.
The Bible mentions Hades. Now, do you know what Hades is? Hades is actually translated to grave. It's literally your grave.
Okay.
There is no hell. Hell was created to scare people.
Yeah.
And you know what's weird? I don't eat Fruit of the Looms because you're not supposed to eat apples.
Okay.
Do you ever like eat an apple and feel guilty? Like, oh shit, this is how this all started.
I'm more like having the apple and I'm like, finally I will have all the knowledge. And I eat it and I'm like, oh shit, this is just a Macintosh.
That's a good joke.
Thank you.
Came up with that, man. We should do comedy together.
Maybe. I do live in Canada though.
You do? I would come to Canada.
Yeah.
I'm sure Canadians would love my comedy. Like,
probably.
That's the thing though, this podcast, my comedy and shit, I'm not huge anywhere, but like my following is like local, but like the ones that aren't local are Germany, UK, Canada, because a lot of my friends are from those countries and they push the knowledge, like the podcast, to their friends and shit. I get that.
Yeah.
But I've talked to a lot of them and they love my humor because those countries don't have cancel culture.
Yeah.
They understand that what I'm saying isn't hate. What I'm saying isn't supposed to be funny. This is it's kind of a character in a way. We all play a caricature. But like comedians are playing a character and they're saying what they think is funny. It's not that we think the act of the shit we're saying is funny. It's just the thought. It's so obscure and crazy that we think it's funny.
Yeah.
That's like I made an Epstein joke. That don't mean I think what he did was funny. I just think the joke's funny.
Yeah.
One of my favorite jokes.
And it's a new not pop culture. It's a new thing in life right now that everyone's talking about.
Kind of pop culture in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
Because even the negative is a part of pop culture.
Yeah.
But one of my friends, because I support local and shit, and I love a lot of local comics. One of my friends, Matt Cooper, he is a brilliant TikTok guy. He's a brilliant comedian. He has a joke, and I'm not going to tell it because he might tell it Saturday, so I'm not going to spoil it. But he tells a joke that mentions Epstein. And I think it's fucking hilarious. Like, it is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I would never touch an Epstein joke because of that. Because, I mean, I think Epstein touched enough.
Yeah. There you
go. Like, oh my God, tell me where he touched you. Like, isn't it weird to, like he had an island for that? Like he had a whole island.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weirder that Catholics have a whole fucking country, but like Epstein had an island. The Catholics have the Vatican.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that Catholics are like, hey, we keep getting in trouble for all this child stuff, so we have a country now. I'm pretty sure the Vatican's old as fuck, but like still.
So we have a country now.
We have a country, the Vatican. What does Vatican translate to?
I don't know.
Vatican. How do you even spell Vatican? Oh, it's a city. It's not a country. It's a city. It's a city in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Vatican apparently is a loan word from Etruscan, not Latin, and it is simply the name of the hill of which the site of St. Peter's tomb. Oh, okay, cool. So they built the palace around St. Peter's tomb.
Okay.
St. Peter, does he like... I don't want to know what kind of Peters he's messing with because we saw what the Catholics do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick, dude, you're more than welcome to come on here whenever you want. If you want to come on this episode, you're more than welcome. I don't know how much longer we're going to be live. But I do have the link in the description. I understand some people, I'm not saying you, Nick, I'm just saying this to everyone that's listening. If you don't feel comfortable on camera and you just want to stay in the chat, I respect that. Because I have anxiety and it took me forever to start doing this.
But I vote you come on.
But Nick will. But anyone's welcome to come on the podcast.
Right. Come on.
I mean, I've been told I'm good with my fingers. Yep. DJ Clitorot. They call me DJ.
There is a TikTok noise that was the inside of your mouth is the same skin as the inside of the vagina. And I'm like, oh, I think you're frozen.
I think it is. No, you froze too, but we still hear each other.
Okay.
Oh, my internet's starting out a little bit.
Yeah.
We went on once I get my new job, if I do, or which they won't, because fucking job don't give a shit about me at all. Pink Sock Podcast does plan on being live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or just Monday, Tuesdays, whatever. 2 days a week, whatever. And I do plan on upgrading. We're going to be upgrading a little bit. I'm going to be doing interviews, sometimes pre-recorded, and air it here, and then me and you can talk about it or talk about life.
Mhm.
I would like it to be a big hangout, have fun, do whatever, have guests come on, more than one guest, and you can just talk to 2 guests at once. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want it to be an interview. I don't want it to be an interview. I fucking hate interviews. Like, I love talking to people. I love questions. I love asking whatever, but I don't like asking the recycled questions.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't.
No,
And-
that's fair.
Oh, by the way, we do have a guest coming on. I don't have a date announced.
Okay.
However, I will tell you, this guy is an amazing human. He's an amazing artist. And he did the album artwork for Rob Zombie.
Very nice.
Hellbilly Deluxe, I believe, 2, he did the album art for. He also did merchandise art for Kiss, Ministry, a bunch of different bands. He's great. Did you hear anything I said? Probably not.
No, you cut out and then you just went, he's great. And I was like,
he's great. He's a great artist. I didn't know who he was when I first was introduced to him. I Googled him. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, he did the art for some of my favorite, like a couple of my favorite albums and shirts and shit for some of my favorite bands. What's up, Lisa? But like, I don't know. Like, he's great. Like, I would love to talk to him. I got nothing else to say. Like, and he can take a joke. I was joking with him back and forth last night, and it was fucking hilarious. We were talking about Americans, and we will talk about it on here too, about how America and Europe's different. Like, Americans get upset and offended by shit, even if it don't affect them. Europeans don't care. And I'm like, yeah, you can't even suck a dick in America without being called gay. Like, but Pink, I'm probably going to get off of here.
Okay.
My head
Are you going to tell me that joke after?
Yes.
Okay.
My head is starting to hurt, and I just want to take a little break from being live.
Oh, that's fair.
We will be live again, I believe Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
We might go live tomorrow. I might squeeze in because I didn't do Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We skipped Monday. So I might make it up to you guys. Give me 1 second, guys, because I got to check my work schedule. I'm waiting for when my work like starts hearing this and they're like, you said we don't care about you. So I can then be like, I told you my availability. You know I have a podcast. And you continued to schedule me. So I'm right. I don't tell them this stuff at work because I've told them my availability. I told them what I need and they ignored me. So there's no point in conversing any further.
Yeah.
There's no point. I'll just continue doing my job. I'll continue ignoring the problem because, well, not ignoring it, but not mentioning it because I already did until I find something else. Because these workplaces need to know that, like, if you don't make your employees happy, especially ones that's been there as long as I've been there 11 fucking years, Pink.
Wow.
If you've been there that long and you don't make them happy, they'll find a job that will accommodate.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not even talking shit on my workplace. I love my workplace. I do. But they've made me hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy shit. It's weird because like where I work, we have people that can work the shift and that have agreed that said, hey, I don't mind working that shift. They don't mind working that shift. My GM just keeps scheduling me that.
Yeah.
And
that's not fair.
And they keep telling me that it's because you're a shift leader. I didn't want the position for one. I told you that. I said I don't have open availability. And they said, well, that's fine. We'll work around it. And now that I'm the shift leader, they're throwing it in my face.
Yeah.
No, take that position away from me. I don't care. I'm not here to please people anymore. I'm tired of it. Tomorrow I work but I work till 8. So tomorrow we will be going live.
There you go.
We will be going live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Are you able to join us?
Yep.
All right. So we are done here. If you got offended by anything we said,
We're sorry, but
No,
not
I'm not.
that sorry.
I'm not sorry at all. You see a therapist.
I'm a little sorry.
Tell your therapist. Tell your therapist. But if you
Yeah.
want to, if you
Tell
want to tell
them
me
that Pink is sorry.
if you want to tell me that you were offended by what I said, please let me know how I can make it funnier. Oh, love you all, and as always, live long, rock hard. And I love you all. I love each and every one of you, even my haters. I love you. Keep coming. Keep watching. Love you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.